Kylian Mbappe came into the limelight very early in his career. He's quite popular for his lightning speed and goal-scoring ability. But as much as he has the spotlight on him, there are very dark secrets he wouldn't want anyone to know, not even his closest pals. So stay tuned on this fact-finding adventure as we uncover 10 things Mbappe wanted to keep secret. Let's start with how Kylian Mbappe has a complicated background. And I'm not sure he's proud of that. He rarely talks about it. Mbappe plays for the French national team, but does not have French blood running in him. He's just a citizen by birth. Mbappe's mother is from Algeria, and his father is a Cameroonian with a Nigerian root. What if I told you that he even has a Nigerian name called Adesanya? His father wanted him to play for Cameroon, but he chose France instead. Who wouldn't want to be part of a winning team anyway? But talking about being part of a winning team, Mbappe failed getting into Chelsea. They didn't want him. I'm sure he has put this behind him, but he must have felt so bad when it happened. Mbappe was just 12 years old when he had a trial with Chelsea, but contrary to his expectations, he failed to make an impression. Mbappe was tried in a few positions, but his performance was not impressive. He was given another opportunity to play as a striker. Still, he could not find the net, not even once. What a shame! After 4 days, the Chelsea management got tired, and that was it. They simply told his mother, who was with him, to take his boy away. Maybe football was just not for him, but they were wrong. I am sure Chelsea will be dying to have him in the blue shirt now. You may be admiring the fine talent of the young Frenchman, but not all of it boils down to hard work and training. Mbappe's sportsmanship is more genetic than nurtured. He seems to have gotten most of it from his bloodline. Did you know that Mbappe's father was a football player turned coach? And his mother was also a professional handball player. His junior brother plays at the PSG Academy, and his adopted brother is a footballer. Athleticism runs in the blood, making it easier for the young Mbappe to create so much magic on the pitch. Mbappe might never admit this though. One more thing Kylian Mbappe might not publicly admit is this: he had a beef with Lionel Messi, and certainly does not want anyone to know about that. Moving on, as a Chelsea reject, Kylian Mbappe trained hard and focused on his game, and with time, everything began to make sense. He developed into a fine, young and talented teenager at AS Monaco. So much so that his talent made PSG break the bank and signed him for a whopping €180 million, making him the second most expensive player after Neymar. Mbappe continued to perform well and scored goals, but little did anyone know that his motivation and quest to score more were tied to Lionel Messi's goal-scoring run. I mean, the more Messi scored, the more Mbappe wanted to score. He said this in an interview: "I would go and score 2 goals in a game, then Messi would score 3. I'd score 3, and then he'd score 4. Wonder why Mbappe was competing with Messi, because clearly he should not. They were not in the same class. But he had to, seeing that Messi is the biggest rival of Mbappe's hero, and that brings us to the next secret. Mbappe wished it was Ronaldo who signed for PSG instead of Messi. Mbappe's love, respect and admiration for Cristiano Ronaldo are out of this world. From childhood, he had Ronaldo's pictures hanging all over his wall. I'm sure he must have watched many of Ronaldo's clips and has been taking lessons from them. Have you noticed that Mbappe loves to take on opponents on the wing, drive into the box and smash the ball into the net? These were Ronaldo's moves too. When PSG announced the signing of Messi, Mbappe was unhappy. He would have gladly sat on the bench and watched Ronaldo play for PSG. He was even more displeased because before Messi's arrival, he was the face of the team and the most popular player in the dressing room. But all that had to change when the 6-time Ballon d'Or winner came onto the scene and became the new topic. Luckily for Mbappe, Messi is no more a PSG player, and Mbappe can get all the attention he wants at the club now. Let's track back a little. Something seems to be fishy about Mbappe's contract with PSG, and he doesn't want you to know about it. Remember how PSG did not hesitate to splash all the cash to sign Mbappe? Yeah, that's not all. When Mbappe was going to renew his contract, some clauses were included which gave him the privilege to influence matters on internal affairs, especially transfer matters and managerial appointments. You wonder how a player whose business is to get things done on the pitch becomes an administrator? That's Mbappe. He's the golden boy. If I was his teammate, I'd rather be friends with him than be on his bad side. PSG cannot afford to lose him to another club. They'll do just anything to keep their star man. Even when Real Madrid was keen on signing him, PSG raised his salary to keep him. They would not mind signing him on a life contract. Whatever the secret is, you'll be the first to know when we uncover it. Did you know that Mbappé used his influence at PSG to get rid of a teammate in favour of his friend? Leandro Perez exited PSG unexpectedly in a summer window. He had no issues with PSG and was expected to stay a bit longer, but he did have an issue with Achraf Hakimi. Apparently, Hakimi and Mbappé were good friends, and when Perez had a little scuffle with Hakimi on the training ground, Mbappé intervened and calmed things down. But in the background, Mbappé must have done something else. Maybe he said to the bosses at the top, "That Perez guy, I don't want him here," because strangely, the next transfer window saw Perez shipped on loan to Juventus, where Perez admitted that he had a difficult relationship with Mbappé. "I told you he'd not spare anyone on his bad side. And if I were you, I'd subscribe to this channel immediately, because that's one of the ways to be Mbappe's friend." This next secret about Mbappé is almost unbelievable. How many would truly believe the handsome, gentle-looking Frenchman almost became a gangster? That's the truth anyway. Mbappé grew up in Bondy, one of France's poorest, roughest and most dangerous neighborhoods. Although Bondy was just a little town in the suburbs of France, it was popular for housing notorious guys. Many illegal immigrants filled the town and were teaching the young boys of Bondy bad stuff. Anytime Mbappé was on the streets, they tried to form bonds with him and become friends with him. Thanks to his stars, Mbappé's father noticed this early and made him stay longer on the training ground and engaged him in other activities like music. Did you even know that Mbappé has an addiction? Don't get worked up, he's not into drugs or anything of that sort, but he sure does have one thing he cannot do without, and that's sneakers. He could spend his last dime on them. You'd agree that his love for cars is laudable. I mean, he has a fleet of them, but his collection of sneakers is outrageous and alarming. It's more like a ritual kind of thing. Even Nike had to dedicate a section of their website to Mbappe's sneakers collection. They called it Boutique de Mbappé. That's crazy. And that's not even the most shocking possession of Mbappé. This next one is a bang. Mbappé has a set of twins. Hey, keep it down. You don't want his girlfriend to hear this. Even though he has never been married, Mbappé already has a set of twins. And do you know what is more surprising? These twins are not even human! So hilarious! Mbappé and the Chinese diving champion Zhang Jiaqi became godparents to two baby pandas in 2021. These pandas were born at a French zoo and adopted by Mbappé and Zhang. I got you there, didn't I? Well, you know stuff about Mbappé that no one ever knew. Don't judge him for keeping them secret. He's not the only one to do so. Click on this video to see what Lionel Messi is hiding from you.